we are.
Hi there. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Liz. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks, Tanya. And you?
I'm doing good. Here, I'm going to pause this music now. So, you said it was a lovely day there. Is that normal for this time
It's
of
a
year?
Yes, it is. It's very windy, which is normal also for this time of the year. We get the southeaster over here, and that
Okay.
can. We had a whole branch blow down into our neighbour's yard the other day. We
Uh-oh.
got quite a fright, and luckily it didn't do any damage.
Oh, I was
But
going to ask if it hit any cars or any people or
no,
anything, because that'd be
no,
bad.
it was during the night.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but that's still a little unsettling, isn't it? Just to,
Yeah,
you know,
very.
yeah.
How about at your house? Is it very cold or is it
Uh,
fairly medium?
Well, it's cold for us. It got down to, the low 30s in the night last night,
Okay,
so it's still in the upper 30s right now. So that's on
okay.
that's about as cold as it gets. If it gets colder than that, then we're all talking about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's like, oh my gosh, it's 30 degrees. So yeah. So but it's nice and sunny, so that's nice. My husband is actually out taking a walk right now. So
Oh,
he's
really? That's
enjoying
fantastic.
that. But tomorrow, starting tomorrow for the next like 3 days or so, it's supposed to rain quite a bit. So we're gonna get our good weather fix, and it
Yeah.
will when it rains. It doesn't get as cold at night, so that's kind of
Yes.
nice. But
You don't get ice and snow.
not here. I live in a
Oh,
big valley in the middle of California, so but up in the mountains it does. So on a clear
yeah.
day, we can see it. We can see the snow on the tops of the mountains. We get frost in the morning, so like all our grass has little frosted tips, and
Mm.
all the roofs are white, but that melts as soon as the sun gets out and warms it up. So
Sounds fairly similar to our
yeah,
kind of
okay,
winter weather, actually.
okay,
You get snow in the distant mountains, and then it's cold. I mean, it
yeah.
feels cold to us, but it never gets to freezing.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
So you don't have a white Christmas. We don't either.
no, no.
We get fog because the city I live in is about well, it might be almost 300,000 people now, but it's pretty compact, and so we're surrounded by farmland. So in the winter, in normal weather years, we get a lot of fog because the moisture comes up out of the ground. And so we call that our snow because it's white and it gets super thick. And a lot of people
Oh,
don't like
really?
it. But like sometimes I can't even see across the street
Yeah, that's
because
quite
it's so,
scary.
yeah. So,
It's fine if you're not driving. It's not
right,
nice to
right,
drive.
right. We kind of get used to it. Everybody kind of knows, just to go slow and don't use
Mm.
your brightest lights and everything. But we had noticed I didn't really put the connection together, but I mean, I remember horrible fog when I was younger, but the last several years we were all kind of saying, hey, it hasn't been as foggy lately, and we realized it's because we've been in a drought for a few years, so there's not as much
Uh,
moisture in the ground. But
yeah.
last year and the year before then, it started raining a little more normally, and so it's like, oh, okay, it's foggy again. So it's kind of a normal thing for us, but that's about all the winter weather we get.
I was just looking to see if we've got anybody joining us yet, and we haven't yet. So I'm not quite
Well,
sure if we should start talking about our Christmas traditions or not yet.
well, I see two eyeballs, when I think one is you, your guest one. So there might be somebody else there, who maybe is private. I'm not sure,
Maybe.
but that's
Okay.
okay. I mean, we'll have this as a recording so that we
Definitely.
can we can post it later. So I say we just chat amongst ourselves and have a good time. I'll get to know you, and if people
Absolutely.
if people come in later, because I wrote down a list of questions, so
Oh, that's
uh,
clever. That's
to to try
brilliant.
to so I didn't forget any topics. And then if people join us, then we'll chat with them too. How's
That'll
that
be
sound?
lovely.
Okay. Well, you said okay. So you want me to give you a minute to change over to your coloring, or do you want to just
Shall
chat
we?
more?
Shall we chat for a little bit and give
Sure.
people, or what would you prefer? I'm happy either way.
That's fine. We can totally do that. So do you want me to start with some
Yeah,
of
you
my
can.
actual
We can
Christmas
do one
questions?
question and then we can
Okay.
start coloring.
Okay, sounds good. Well, I guess the first question is, when when do you start decorating for Christmas?
That's a very good question. I start decorating when I have children coming to stay. If I've got no
Mm-hmm.
little ones coming to stay and it's just my husband and I, we don't decorate at all anymore.
Oh,
I
okay.
used to start at the beginning of December when the kids were all at home.
Mm-hmm.
And when my family comes from Germany, then I also start in the beginning
Okay.
of December. But I don't do it when they're not coming anymore. That's terrible and very lazy and everything. But I just, it's yeah, it's just a pain for me. I love seeing other people's decorations
Mm-hmm.
and I love seeing them. And I used to enjoy doing it when the kids were around, but now I just don't bother. Sorry. What about you?
No, that's all right. I normally start the day after Thanksgiving, which is always the fourth Thursday of November. So
Oh,
we try to honor Thanksgiving because that's a big deal around here, and not
yes.
do anything before Thanksgiving. I mean, I start like thinking about Christmas presents and that kind of thing, but I try not to like listen to any Christmas music or do any of the regular Christmas things until the day after. But then the day after, like Friday morning, that's like my husband knows like nothing else happens until all the decorations are down out of the storage. So he gets them down and he puts the lights up around the outside of the house. We have just like just a thin band that goes around the eaves. And so then that's what he does. And then I unpack all the boxes and get everything put out. So I try to get everything done that first weekend, because I know, which has proven true again this year, if I don't get it done that weekend, it might not get done because then
Mm,
life moves on to other things. So I
mm.
got pretty much everything done. We have a couple of things that I'll probably still try to do before like our kids are showing up on Christmas Eve. So I'll try to get it done before then. But even if I don't, most everything else is in place. Yeah. So that first weekend is kind of a flurry and.
That's pretty awesome. Very, 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 very few people here in South Africa decorate their houses outside.
Oh,
Don't put
really?
lights and things up. Yeah, I. It's there was a while when people started to do it, but
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of thievery that happens, and
Oh,
if you
yeah.
put lights up, they would just be stolen.
Oh, that's
So
too
I
bad.
mean, we even had our solar system stolen off our roof while we were
Oh,
sleeping. So
no. That's not
yeah,
good.
that was a little while ago. So yeah, a
Oh,
lot of so that's a pity. I used to
yeah.
the only thing I did outside was have a wreath. I used to put that
Mm-hmm.
up.
Like
And
on
then
your
the
door?
tree. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. Used
Yeah.
to I made them actually with my kids when they were little. We used to
Oh,
love
nice.
making them.
Very,
Yeah.
very fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, there is some thievery around, but not enough that it stops anyone from doing it. So we have, there are some neighborhoods where like all the houses are just got all kinds of lights and things, and they go all out. And then some, like us right now, we just have one strand that goes around the eaves that it's kind of like it hangs down, looks like little icicles,
A
kind of.
pretty.
So that's what we have. I'd like to have more, but we just, priorities.
Mm. Yeah, no,
That's as far
absolutely.
as we got. But like, I always love like the houses will like outline all of their roofs and all of their walls and have all kinds of things. Uh, and a lot of houses have like inflatable blow up things that
I've seen that in the movies.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a thing. It's a real thing here. So I thought
Wow.
about even just taking my phone one night and doing a live stream, just like walking. Our street itself doesn't have a lot of big ones, but there are some neighborhoods around that do have all kinds of different things. So it's fun. In my old days of live streaming on Periscope, which is another app that I used to live stream on, people used to do that kind of stuff all the time. And it was really fun just seeing what other neighborhoods were like,
Yes.
and different ways people do things. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, that
Uh,
sounds amazing.
yeah. So I have, well, now I can say with this Christmas tree I added right here in this room, this was now I can say I have a tree in almost every room, like
Wow.
living rooms and bedrooms. I'm counting this little one, but yeah, so we'll get more into more detailed decorations later. But this one I just added because I had a great plan for a project to color in, and I started it, but I didn't finish it. So it involves coloring decorations to go on that
Oh,
tree. But so we'll see if I continue it. Maybe I'll make it into a video for next year. I don't know. At this rate, that might take me that long to finish it. But
I start to
so
feel that way as
yeah.
well.
So the only decorations this has on it is its garland, but I'm still counting it. It's a Christmas tree, so
That's beautiful. It's really
oh
cute.
yeah. So
Thank you.
um okay, do you want to switch now and start
Yeah, I
coloring?
think I'll go down now so you can
Okay.
take me off for a second.
Let's see. So then we talked about so what I did while you were away was just give a little a summary, kind of like why we're doing this is that I'm in California and you're in South Africa, and we were just curious about each other's traditions, given that we live in such a different place. That's why we're sharing different traditions. So it will be interesting to see what's the same and what's different. So um,
Yeah.
what what are you coloring in? Let's
What?
before we get
Sorry, ask that again.
which book are you coloring in?
I'm
You told
colouring in Escape to Christmas Past. It's an
oh nice.
old book
Mm-hmm.
from by Good Wives and Warriors. I think it was published in 2015 or something.
Okay,
Yeah, 2015.
I've seen some posts from it before. It looks really nice. So I'm
I'm
coloring in. Oh, go ahead.
trying to finish the book. And what are you colouring in?
Oh, I am coloring in The Colors of Christmas by Nicolette de la Fray, which I just got yesterday. So this will be my very first page in it. So I'm looking forward to it. So you said you were trying to finish that book. How far have you
Well,
gotten
I've
into
got
it?
such a lot to do that I haven't done, but I've done a few things in it. And I want to try, because I did this page the other day, I want to try and get the colours to at least sort of talk to each other so that they're
Yeah,
not shouting at each other.
to kind of coordinate.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that sounds great. Did you save, like, write down the colors that you used on that page, or are
No,
you just gonna
because I
kind of
did
wing it?
this. This was done as a video correcting a page that my grandson
Oh, yes.
messed up for me.
That was
And so
great.
I
It turned out
used,
beautifully.
yeah, I enjoyed doing it, but I used mostly acrylic paint pens and things. And I thought it's, for this particular, for coloring with the video, I wanted to color with pencils because it's just easier and
Easier.
less messy.
Right. That
So
works.
I'm just going to go with blues and reds and maybe some of the other colors. I'll
That
see.
sounds perfect.
Have you
Okay, so
chosen a color palette?
I'm just gonna go with traditional Christmas colors, reds and greens, and a few other
It's
things. So
lovely.
I'm gonna do the greenery first. That's kind of, if I can, a lot of times what I do on a page is I'll start with the thing that's the biggest, um, because then it takes up more. Um, Hi, Tanya and Liz. Just saw you're doing live. Yana. Oh, good to know.
Quite
Originally
clever.
from Latvia. Oh, nice, Yana. Where are you now? If you are originally from Latvia, where are you now? Hi, Valerie B. How are you?
Hello, Valerie. Lovely to see you here.
Yeah, we were just we've covered a couple of our questions, but so Liz, you said you don't when it's just you and your husband, you don't decorate at all. So does that mean your kids aren't coming to? Hi, Be Cozy.
Hi, Bee.
um,
So nice to see you here.
so does that mean your
Um,
kids aren't coming to visit this year? Is that why you didn't
they
decorate
do.
yet?
They pop in and visit, but they all have their own trees and their own decorations. And we're doing the actual Christmas dinner and celebration at my niece's house. So I
Oh,
sort
okay.
of feel that it's not necessary. I think I'm very lazy. I think that's the
And
crux
very
of the
honest.
matter.
Yeah, I wonder too, as I get older, if I will keep doing all of the decorations like I do. I just love them. I like all the lights and everything, so I will do it. Probably, until I'm not able to. But I do notice that I did this year and last year. I have a couple of decorations, like garlands. Sorry, I'm talking with my hands, so I realize you can't see me. um, I had some garlands that had lights in it that I would normally hang over my two big living room windows inside. But I didn't do that last year or this year, and I'm finding I'm okay with that. So maybe I am in the process of backing things down. uh,
Remind me of the ages of your children again. I know we spoke about it when we chatted the other day, but I've
yeah,
forgotten.
I have two sons, and one is 25 and one is 32.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, so they are both coming home for Christmas. So they'll be home for a couple of days, each of them. So that'll be nice. But I still, I put up all my decorations except for the garlands I was telling you about, just because I love them. It just makes, I love, one of my favorite things to do is, um, well, it was more poignant when the boys were at home because the house got, was so rambunctious and full of people. But one of my favorite things to do was after everyone went to bed, um, I loved just sitting in the living room in the quiet with all the Christmas lights on, all the Christmas trees, and
Actually, I
all
did
the various
too. I
things.
used to love sitting with the Christmas tree lights on and
Yeah,
just enjoying
yeah.
that peace.
Maybe a cup of hot chocolate or something, and
Yes,
or just maybe with a extra light and reading a book or something. But oh, Yana did not succeed with scaling back with your. I think that's perfectly fine. Like I said, normally I do it all, but I just decided the two garlands of lights are hard to put up. They're a lot of work, and last year one of them, like the string of lights, didn't work. I should have, because I didn't check it before, and it's like, oh, so I just left it down. But so yeah, everything else is up though. Let's see, Valerie, hello. We don't decorate. We always go into family who do decorate. Used to work. Oh, when you work during the holidays, that makes it hard. Uh, I have found this year I did succeed in getting my decorations done on schedule, which is the weekend after Thanksgiving. But a big work project came up after that. And so I'm finding myself, it was unexpected and an unexpected deadline of trying to get it done by this coming Tuesday.
gosh,
So, so it's fun work, but it's put a lot more, pressure on my brain to get it done and figure things out. So I find when I'm at home, I'm focusing more on that project and not on just the general season. So I'm a little, but I mean, it's not getting me down, but I just realized, like, oh shoot, Christmas is a week from Monday, and I haven't finished my shopping. I mean, I just barely started a couple of days ago.
that's
So
a very daunting thought.
yeah, it's just thrown me off just a little bit. Well, and it's been so warm and sunny here. Sometimes it's hard to, it doesn't really feel like Christmas sometimes. So yeah, but our project is making really good progress. So I'm starting to get, okay, I can see, and my Christmas shopping, we've made some progress on that. So, um, yeah, Sue, the Christmas trees with the lights, is one of my favorites. My two little grandkids kept bringing up boxes. Absolutely, if it's there, especially if the grandkids get involved, you do it.
That's
um,
awesome. I know
yeah,
when sorry, when
no, go
mine
ahead.
was staying here from Germany last year, we did all the decorations and they were very busy with everything.
Yeah, when my several years ago, probably 10 years or so. So my oldest was 22. He had a girlfriend, and so she came over to help on that Friday of where I do the decorating the Friday after Thanksgiving, she came over to help, and my sons normally never would help with the decorations, but that day he did, so that was fun. But it was really fun. One of the things that I have is a little Christmas village, that like ceramic houses and buildings that you can you put a light bulb inside and the windows glow when you turn it
Oh,
on.
that's pretty.
Yeah, and so I have this little display of them on a little table behind our couch, and they offered to set that up. And when the kids were little, it wasn't something they could play with because there was little figurines that go with it, and they were breakable and all this, so they could look but not touch. So it was a big deal for him to be able to set it up. But I just kind of
That's
overheard.
awesome.
Yeah, I overheard him talking to her while they were doing it, saying, "Yeah, this was always my favorite decoration when I was little." I'm like, really? It's like the things you learn when a new girl enters the house. um, so I guess that's just hope to the moms, even the grandmas. Even if your kids don't look like they're engaged, they really are. So that was really encouraged by that, because I always used to think, oh, they don't really care about the decorations. It's only me, but evidently they did. So that was nice. Weekend plans will consist of coloring. Nice. What are you coloring right now, Yana? Okay, so let me look at my list. Okay, so when you did decorate a Christmas tree,
Yeah.
Liz, what kind of decorations did you put on it? Did you have did they all match each other? Were they different? Did you do something different every year? What was your tree
We
like?
more or less did the same thing every year. I've got decorations that have come down from about 1890 from family members and everything, and they've been passed down. And bit by bit, as family has passed on, I've kept a decoration from
Oh, nice.
everybody. And so the old things and some things, even from Austria, my one grandmum came over before the First World War from Austria,
Okay.
and my my grandfather came from Norway, and they brought a lot of things with them. So I have some very special things that
I
used to
bet.
go on, and that mixed with various things that the children made at school and things
Mm-hmm.
that I've bought, like at markets, and things have all got mixed up. And so it's an incredibly eclectic mix of
I love
Christmas
it.
decorations.
That's my favorite kind.
And yours?
Um, yeah, I will tell mine, but I have a follow-up question. So what happened? Where are those decorations now? Do your kids have them, or are they in
No, they
storage?
don't want them. They're still sort
Oh,
of kept. I've still got them, and I mean, I
okay,
will put them up because the Germans will come again for another Christmas, and then I will definitely decorate.
okay,
Um, my daughter has a lot of her own, and she's not really into old things. And my other daughter-in-law, I've got two sons. Well, I've got my daughter and my one son here, still in South Africa, and the other daughter-in-law is she's very good at decoration, and everything must match.
Oh, okay. My
So
mom
it's
was like that. Yeah.
different. Yeah.
Um, okay. Well, as long as they're still in the family, so that's good. That will be a special thing. I have we generally do the same thing every year, and like you, all of my ornaments, almost all of them are um different ones we've collected over the years, or some that I have had since I was little, because I've started, for whatever reason, I liked ornaments from the time I was little. So my mom, her the way I'm trying to go too fast. Her style was she matched every year. She had these gold sparkly ornaments that she would use every year. These like little round ball things, and
Oh, lovely.
they were really pretty. And she had, so she had a certain look that she liked every year. And so her tree, for the most part, I think it was the same. um I was pretty, I can't remember for sure when I was littler, but by the time I was older, that's what I remember was those gold balls. But I started for whatever reason collecting. It's not like I had money to spend, so I'm not sure how this collection started, but I think one of our neighbors used to give me an ornament every year. Well, actually, it came from their dog. So they would give it to me in a little package, and the label said "To Tanya from Smokey." So,
Oh, gorgeous.
so, and they would give me an angel every year. So I have, and I still have those. And then I just, I started accumulating them for in various ways. So at some point when I was little, my parents started buying because that at that time everyone always had real trees, and
Yes.
uh, so they started buying me like just a really small tree of my own to put my ornaments on. So
Oh,
that
that's
she
lovely.
she could have hers and I'd have my little one. And by the time I got to be, an older teenager, I had so many that my tree was almost as big as theirs. So then then she started putting them, and they would be given ornaments too. And I don't remember really what they did with those, but by the time I was an older teenager, um, we kind of combined everything and it was all on one tree. But so I still have all of the ornaments that I had collected as a kid, minus the ones that have broken between then and now. But so a lot of those are real special to me. And I have my mom's passed away now, so I have her the gold balls that she used to use,
Oh, that's lovely.
and all of the angel ornaments that my neighbor's dog had given me. Plus, when I see a pretty one or a cute one, I'll add to it. So I've just added to my collection over the years. So now it's gonna be terrible, but I have 4 Christmas trees.
Wow.
In my living room. They're all in my living room. I mean, one of them's the main one. The other ones are smaller. They're not all full size. One's a real like skinny one, and one's a short one. Well, two of them are short. But so the main one is where most of all the eclectic ones go. All the ones we've compiled over the years, and
Yes.
that's where and all the ones from my child, well, almost all the ones from my childhood go there. But because I have so many angel ornaments. But what happened is I started just getting so many ornaments that they wouldn't fit on the tree. So I started, so I think the first year I got a real small one and I put all my angel ornaments on there, and probably the gold balls because I didn't have enough angel ornaments to fill up a tree when I first started doing this. So anyway, so now I have an angel tree, and then I have another tree that is a combination of Disney because our family loves Disney,
Oh,
and
that's gorgeous.
I call it Disney and David because my husband also has accumulated ornaments that have been given to him over the years at various parties or from me. But he doesn't have enough to fill up a whole tree, and we don't have enough Disney to fill up a whole tree. So I combined those in one tree, and then last year I added just a super skinny one. I mean, it's less than a foot wide, but it's taller. And that one, the theme right now is just my pretty ones because my pretty ornaments because I have a couple of sets that are just real like delicate balls with gold filigree on it,
Oh, that sounds beautiful.
and just some random just pretty ones, and then ones that I got from not from Paris but that remind me of that represent France because that's a interest of mine. So I've got some macaron and the Eiffel Tower, and people have given me some of those over the years. And when I went to France last summer, I bought some ornaments, so those are on that tree. So those are the 4 that I have.
That sounds
Plus,
like a lot.
oh, you can't see it now, but plus the little one that I had on the table when I was on screen, so that makes 5. But it doesn't have any
Wow.
ornaments on it yet. So, okay, so let me catch up on comments. Yana is coloring in Tenderful Enchantments. Nice. Valerie loves Old Family. Yes, the homemade ornaments. It's like unpacking Christmas presents every year when I unpack the ornaments. Valerie, do you find that too? Because I'll pull it out and all the memories come back that associated with that ornament,
I
and it just
totally agree with that. Yes.
yeah, I just love it. So I started doing that when our kids were little. I wish I said I started it when my first son was born, but it was shortly before my second son was born that I started giving him an ornament that represented either an interest or of his or something that happened to him, each of them that year. So by the time they were grown up and ready to move out, they had their own box. um, so that's been fun. And so I gave them uh, because they wanted them. They each got the like the because I had saved all the little paper crafty ones that they had made at school and Sunday school. Then I
I've
used to
still
put
got
them.
a whole lot of mine as well, of
Yeah,
my kids' ones.
I used to put them on my Christmas tree, but when they got their own, they wanted them, so now they all have them. So that was nice. I'm glad they wanted them, so it will be um, nice to see them getting used there. So, okay, let's see. We've talked about decorations. We talked about outside. We have lights.
I
I have
just
lights
wanted to
in.
also sort of comment to Val, who said that she also doesn't decorate her home because she goes out. I'm glad to hear that I'm not the only one.
Yes. I think I think there's more of you probably than you realize. Okay, so um, do you have any traditional like activities or fun things or remembrances or anything that you do in the weeks before Christmas? Like
No, not so much in the weeks before Christmas. Our
okay.
whole celebration and everything seems to be concentrated on Christmas Eve,
Okay.
strangely enough.
Well,
Yeah.
that's all right. That's
And
how
the
it used
weeks
to
before
be.
Christmas just seem to be busy shopping, and I'm always um, I look after my grandson, my one grandson, quite a lot during the week, and so to actually get time to do Christmas shopping, I need the like he only stopped coming to me this last Thursday, because now his mom's on holiday. So it's hard to do Christmas shopping and stuff when you've got a little curious
Right.
sausage.
A curious sausage. I like that.
Yeah.
Do you do any baking or cooking ahead of time,
Yeah,
like Christmas cookies?
I like to make shortbread, strangely
Oh,
enough, and I always used to like to make mince pies. I don't know if you
mm.
eat them in America, the fruit mince pies.
I think that they exist, but I don't know that I've ever had one. It's
Because I
not
used
like
to love making those, but I don't make them at the moment because both my husband and I are trying to get our waistlines down a little bit.
yes.
So
I
I
understand
make
this.
shortbread, that I definitely do. And you?
Um, yeah, we I like to bake. I have a sweet tooth, so
Yes, snap.
but like you, I'm also, trying to be better about my sugar habit. But that didn't stop me from I have a couple of friends who also like to bake, so um I had one cookie baking session last Saturday and we made 17 dozen cookies plus fudge um
Wow.
I don't even there's a name for I don't know if there's a name, but it's just like this little mix of it's like a little snack mix of like pretzels and melted chocolate and like peppermint pieces and Heath, just all different kinds of
Oh,
candy
you
pieces,
must
all
send me
kind
a
of
recipe for that. That sounds
okay.
divine.
It's very easy, and I will. It's just like any little cookie pieces, like not cookie pieces, but like we used peanut butter chips, Heath
Mm.
bar chips, little peppermint chocolate bits, and seemed like there was something else. And so you can use whatever you want. You could use peanut butter, you could use whatever. And then so you just spread, I'll write this down. I can write it in the comments when I post this video, but you just spread the pretzels out on a sheet and you sprinkle all the whatever, like I said, whatever it is you want on there, the toffee or the peanut butter chips or whatever. You sprinkle that all over, and then you melt white chocolate and either milk chocolate or dark chocolate. Just you have two, and then you put it. You drizzle it over just like back and forth, so it's real quick. So it kind of like it's not solid, but it's got little stripy things, and it kind of holds everything roughly together. And then when you're done, while that stuff is still wet, you like put sprinkles on it, like whatever, like red, green,
Ooh.
So just to give it that Christmassy look. And then you let it dry, and it all sticks together, and you have an addictive little
Snack. It sounds absolutely divine.
yeah, it's perfect. It's a perfect little mix of sweet and salty, and
I love that. I love sweet and salty. It's
yeah,
like the best.
yeah. So anyway, we made a big batch of that. So we did all our cookie baking last week, and so I divide it up into little containers and take it to some of our neighbors, and I take some to work, and then I eat far too much of it myself. But it's Christmas, so
That's lovely. When I used to sing in the opera, then we used to there was always a show at Christmas time, and usually a musical or something. So there were performances every night for about 3 weeks, and we always in the dressing room we used to take it in turns to bring things. And I was looking through my written out recipes the other day and finding quite a few from that time, because every night it would be somebody else's chance to bring something Christmassy to the dressing
mm-hmm.
room that we'd all enjoy.
Nice.
It was actually very special.
Very
It's
nice.
nice. It was nice when I stopped, because it used to be very difficult for me to have to go out and perform on Christmas Eve when it's my family celebration time.
Yeah, I I
I
I
used
could
to
see
find
it.
that very hard.
Yeah, I working at a church, which I do. Sometimes Christmas falls on Christmas. I mean, we the Sunday before Christmas, we have a big, Christmas celebration, and there's all, kinds of activities and things. And
Yes.
so when Christmas falls on a Sunday, you know, working there like I do, and my husband actually also works at the church in a different capacity. But yeah, so sometimes Christmas morning is a work morning, and so that made it a little tricky. But when I was younger, when the kids were littler, we used to do some big Christmas shows, like a drama, like a
Oh,
play, and
lovely. Yes.
and it was lots of fun. And we would do it not for a church service, but it would be like a show at night, and people would come, and we'd have, there would be desserts, and they would sell tickets, and it was a big deal. We have a big theater crowd in our town and in our church, and so they would do, at the height of it, there would be like 10 nights in December where we would be performing, an hour and a half long show every night. And there was singing and dancing, and because there was choreography and all it was involved. And so there'd be, a couple months of rehearsals before
Yes.
before that, of course. And then every year after it was over, I would get sick. So for like 5 years in a row, because I think I
Sounds
was just
about right.
running so ragged. So every year for like 5 years in a row, I was sick for Christmas. So my
Oh,
husband, my husband didn't love that, but well, and I didn't love that either. But I think he was happy because he wasn't in all the shows like I was. He was in some of them, but it wasn't his thing as much as it was mine. But uh,
it's fun to be in something around Christmas because there's a nice spirit. But yes, one does nearly always get sick after a show.
yeah, yeah,
I think it's also just being in such close contact with so many people.
exactly. Yeah. Okay. Oh my gosh, it's 9:20. Let's see. We got to look at my list
You're
and see if there's
joking.
I know. I looked at the clock and like I had no clue that we've been chatting for so long.
I wanted to
Uh,
ask, can I ask
yeah,
Jana a question?
absolutely.
My daughter-in-law, I see your surname is Eicher and you come from Latvia. My daughter-in-law, her name is spelt Jane. They're German, and it's also pronounced Jana. So I find that interesting. Is your name, if it were put into English, would it be Jane as well or not? I'm just interested to know. We'll see if you answer just
Yeah.
now. She might not even be here anymore.
Valerie, I hope you do get some coloring done. Um,
Yes.
have to get my house in order. Yeah, I hear that. I am in denial about how much stuff I have to do before family arrives on Sunday, next Sunday. But at least I have a week. But like I said, with that big work project, I haven't. She's probably coloring right. I'm feeling a little behind. But today is it going to be a beautiful day, and I'm going to get so much done today after this.
It's so
Yeah.
funny that you're talking like that and my day is coming to an end and I'm going to go and sit in front of the TV.
Isn't that fun? I love that. Yeah, it's just getting started, so I will hopefully have a good productive day. Let's see. We talked about Christmas foods. So what does Christmas Eve, what does that look like? You said you got your main thing was Christmas Eve. So just like walk through when you were actually doing your Christmas celebration. What does it look like?
We always we get together with the whole family, so that
Mm-hmm.
can depend. And sometimes one or two of the children will go to an in-law
Mm-hmm.
um, rather than to us. But normally it's the whole family, which can be about 30 people.
Oh gosh,
And yeah, it's
that's
quite a
fun.
lot. And we always we these days create like a WhatsApp group and decide who's bringing what. So we
Mm-hmm.
share the cooking, and it used to be traditional foods like turkey, chicken, ham, um,
Mm-hmm.
whatever along those
Mm-hmm.
lines. Some usually not ham, usually gammon,
Oh, what's
and
that?
we would normally pardon
Oh, what you said gammon? What is that?
gammon.
I don't.
It's like a salted ham. I don't
Hmm,
know. Don't you have gammon?
I've never heard of that before. I will have to look that up.
I'll have to. It's spelled G. I'll write it here on the chat,
Okay.
and you can look it up because I will lie to you if I tell you. But it's pork based.
Okay.
Um, but so we because
Huh.
it's usually very hot, we normally bring everything cold and then
Mm-hmm.
serve with lots and lots of different salads. This year, we've decided to actually, because my niece is having it at her home and she lives about an hour away from us. And my husband and I are getting on a bit. And she lives in an area that you have to drive along a road that can. Sometimes there's stonings and awful things happening.
Hmm.
So we don't want to drive it at night, so we're going to go in the
Mm-hmm.
day this time.
Okay.
Um, and we're going to actually barbecue, but we're
Oh,
going to do
fun.
like butterflying a leg of lamb and butterflying a full
Wow.
chicken and sort of doing it celebration style. And then desserts more like ice cream cakes and things along
Uh-huh.
that line
Okay.
to make them colder.
Right,
So
right, right.
and
It's
they've got a
so.
swimming pool, so it's nice for the kids. But so we get there and we come with all our great amounts of food and our presents and everything all wrapped up. And they put underneath the tree, and the kids all, there's probably about 12 children altogether, run around and have a wonderful time. And then we will all gather together, and then we normally sing Christmas carols, actually. That normally
Oh,
puts me
fun.
at the piano. And then we sing carols for about 30 minutes or thereabouts. And sometimes the children will do a bit of a Bible reading or something.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes It depends on the age of them. When we were kids, we used to act out the Christmas story.
Okay.
Um, I remember very clearly one year, it was four of us, two cousins and my sister and I, and we were just at that giggle teenage stage. And we walked in singing very seriously, "We three kings of Orient are." And then the older two, my sister and my older cousin, realized there were four of us, and they collapsed in fits of giggles, and they wouldn't do anything else.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was very funny. It's funny how it stays in your mind. So
Hmm.
then we do carols, and then we eat, and then we hand out presents, and then you've lost the kids for the rest of the night.
Yeah.
And yours, what is your celebration like?
Um, we usually on Christmas Eve I missed some darker green there. We get together with some friends, a family that we've known since all our kids were little, so they've all grown up together, and so now it's kind of fun seeing some of them with their own kids and stuff. But uh, with that, we go see. There's a neighborhood. We were talking earlier about neighborhoods that go all out with their Christmas decorations. And
Yes.
there's one in the a little town that's connected with the town that we live in. That like there's like I think three whole blocks worth of houses, so maybe 100 houses altogether. That
Wow.
it's called Christmas Tree Lane, and they just have light shows and decorations and displays, like all of them, like every single house. And so we go walk that's a big tradition. And it'll be
That
full of
sounds
people,
wonderful.
or you can drive through it. But people, it's always full of people, especially on Christmas Eve. So we'll do that with them, and then we come back and just have a meal and hang out. We do that. We take turns, switching between one year we host and the next year they host. And so it's our house this year. And then on Christmas morning, and our kids have, well, my oldest has a girlfriend who he'll be seeing her mom with her Christmas Eve morning. So there's usually variations of who is here when, but this year everybody will be
Yes.
together at our house for Christmas. So that'll be nice. So on Christmas morning, we all uh, wake up, and Santa comes. Even though our kids are grown, Santa still comes. And so we exchange stockings, and then we have just some kind of little small breakfasty meal of some kind. I don't even know what we're having, because it's not a big deal, but something
Yes.
together, and just kind of hang out while we are cooking Christmas dinner, which we eat, around, like 1 o'clock. So it's like later than lunchtime. It's lunchtime, but it's a little bit later. So depending on how we feel, sometimes we open presents before the meal, and sometimes we open presents after the meal, depending on what everybody
And how
wants to do.
excited everybody is.
Yeah, I mean, right now, since there's no little kids in my extended family, it's just, because my kids don't have kids yet, so it's a little easier to just kind of chill, just
Yes.
kind of wait. And then my husband's mom and her husband will come over later in the day, because her husband has several kids, and their kids all have kids, and so they're working on great grandkids now. So they have a big gathering that they go to with all of their side of the family earlier in the day, and then they come over to our house later. So sometime at some point in the day, my family will all have had a meal, opened presents, and just hung out for a little while. And then when my husband's parents come over, then we have like a meal made out of leftovers from the main meal, because that's kind of a tradition, is the leftovers. And then we open presents with them and just kind of hang out with them for a little bit. And then that's pretty much the day. So
It
that's,
sounds wonderful.
yeah, that's
Really
how
does
it,
sound lovely.
yeah. And this year, every once in a while, my husband's sister comes into town. Her husband, they live about an hour-ish away from us, but her husband is a firefighter. So most years he's got to work. His work schedule means that they can't go out of town. But
Oh dear.
this year, it looks like they're coming to our house. They're not positive yet, but so that will be fun. They have older kids too. They have their son's in college, so is he coming home? I don't even know. I think he's not even coming home this year because he's over on the East Coast, which is a ways to go. It's a
Wow.
5 hour airplane flight. So I don't know I can't remember if he's coming home or not. But their daughter is a senior in high school, so um, it's fun just to see them. We don't see them too often, but yeah, so that is kind of what we're having ham. My husband's favorite is ham, but this year we're adding my son's girlfriend is a great cook, and she's going to make some homemade pasta to go along with our Christmas meal. So that will be fun. We've never done that
That
before,
sounds
so
lovely.
yeah.
I
So
see that somebody, who was it here? Um, Sue says that Google says gammon is ham. So maybe it's just a different way of
of
doing
salt.
it, because we also have ham, but
Okay.
maybe it's just a different way of processing or whatever
Oh,
they do
maybe.
to it. I don't know what
Yeah.
they do. I never
Does
want to
it?
think too much about the meat because I don't like thinking about it being an animal.
Right, right, right. Yeah, it's just a package of stuff that comes from the grocery store. It doesn't matter where it comes from.
Absolutely.
I get that. I get that. Oh
Tell
gosh.
me
Well,
something before we go. Should
yeah.
I make these candles blue, do you think? Or shall I go
Um,
red? Shall I bring the red in?
well, my favorite color is blue, so I always like blue. If it was me, I can't tell what some of the smaller details are. I would do something blue down there just to kind of
Just to
coordinate
keep
the,
it going, yes.
yeah, just to coordinate the two sides of the page, but I don't know if it needs to be you're talking
Yeah,
about
I'm
the
going to have
candles
to think
up there.
about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would do something else blue, because I was thinking that I can zoom in my screen just a little bit. Hold on. Let's see. Well, you're going to have the blue of the curtains down in the corner, so that might be enough blue, because I'm assuming
Yeah,
that
that's
those things on
true.
the edges.
And
So
this
if
is
that's the,
probably also going to be blue because it's the same sort of pattern as the curtains.
yeah,
So,
yeah. So I
so
would say
maybe I
then the
must go
candles,
red.
yeah, I would go red with the candles.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Okay.
Well, I had a lovely time chatting, and we chatted so well. I have even all kinds of questions that we didn't even get to, but that's okay because we had a lovely chat. Is there anything else
It,
you want to know before we go, or want to say?
no, I think your page is starting to look really lovely.
Thank you.
I'm excited to see that when it's
Yeah,
finished.
me
But
too.
uh, I've really enjoyed chatting as well, and it's been so great. Thanks to everybody that's joined us. It's been so lovely that people came.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Okay, well, I say I have a great week leading up to Christmas. I hope you have a really special Christmas celebration with your family, and to all of the viewers who are still here, I hope the same for you. That you just have a really special celebration, special week, and I'd like to do this again sometimes, Liz. So we
yes,
can
so
think
would
about
I, Tanya. It's been really
sometime.
lovely, and I've really
Yeah,
enjoyed it.
the time went by so
I'm
quickly.
Yeah, I can't actually believe that an hour's gone by.
So we can look at our schedule in the new year at some point and figure out
Yes,
another time to do this. And yeah, well, thanks everyone for coming along and hanging out with us for a little bit. And
absolutely.
we'll
I
see you
also
all
want to say
soon.
thank you and wish everyone happy Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you as well.
And thanks to you, Tanya, for organizing it all.
Oh, you're welcome. Not a problem. It's my pleasure. This was a lot of fun. I love chatting And thanks, Sue. It was
So
fun.
do
It was
I.
fun talking in front of you. Okay, we'll close it down and we'll see you all around YouTube and Instagram in the coming weeks, I'm sure. So take care, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Bye bye now.
Thanks, Valerie.
Bye.
Bye.